Hello and welcome to Making Mindfulness Fun. I'm Isabelle and today I'm going to be sharing with you some mindfulness techniques to manage your anger. Hi guys, my name is Isabelle. Here at Making Mindfulness Fun, I am a kids and teens mindfulness coach and I help kids and teens become more confident and creative using mindfulness. Today I want to share with you some techniques that I have used to manage my anger because I think they're extremely powerful and that they'll help you manage your anger a lot too. Before we get into it though, please make sure that you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and turn on post notifications because I at least try to. I don't know if I'm successful in this, but I try to put out a video every day of a mindfulness exercise for kids, teens, or adults in a fun way. Alright? Before we get into the exercise, into the techniques, I want to share really quick and tell you guys a little bit about what anger is. We know anger, is an emotion, that's obvious, but on a deeper level, anger is a bit of like a bodyguard. When we feel anger, it's because we have a sensitive, negative emotion that we're trying to hide because it feels vulnerable and unsafe. And this is okay, we all do this, we all feel anger at some point, but the reason these techniques are all tied to that fact. We can't just treat anger and hold on to it. We need to uncover that anger so that we can release and feel our emotions so that we can feel truly happy. Because if we don't uncover that anger and those emotions and just stick with the fact that we're angry, then we're just going to be holding on to that even longer. Think of it this way. Imagine, I've seen this metaphor somewhere else, but imagine you were holding a hot coal in your hand with the intention to throw it at someone. But the only person you're burning is yourself. And sure, maybe you do eventually throw at them and they're like, ouch, but you're burning your hand while doing so is the point. This is what anger is. Anger doesn't serve us, it's just hurting ourselves. So by using these mindfulness techniques, we'll be able to release our anger and come back to a state of inner peace. All right? So these mindfulness techniques I'm going to share are great for kids, teens, and adults. So whether you're 16, 6D, or 6 years old, please join in this video, grab a seat, get comfortable, and enjoy. For these mindfulness techniques, we're going to be doing some sitting and a little bit of movement, just a little. So make sure you have some space to move around. Maybe you grab a yoga mat and you sit outside like I'm doing, or maybe you sit inside. Just have some space to move around, and maybe a block or bolster or chair to sit on because we will be doing some meditation and some breath work. And I want to make sure that you're comfortable and so you can sit tall while we do this. All right? For the first part of this, go ahead and just find a calm state sitting. A seat where you can meditate and do some vigorous breath work. So you can sit tall, you're comfortable, and you feel secure. Good. These mindfulness techniques that I'm about to share to help you release your anger can be done each separately, but I'm going to guide you through the whole process as one fluid movement. So just do this as you would a meditation or mindfulness exercise or a yoga practice, and you can come back to any part of this video later on and do this just one exercise if it really helped you. Awesome. So hopefully you're sitting comfortably right now. Try to see if you can take a few calming breaths. And maybe you're pulling up this video right now because you are in an angry state. That's okay. Go ahead and close off your eyes if you haven't already. And I want you to just take a moment, even if it's uncomfortable or whether you desire to, just take a moment to think about what's making you angry. What is causing your anger as of this moment? What has been recently causing you anger? What makes you feel furious, outraged, an intense burning in your soul? What is bothering you? What is causing you frustration and hate? Just take a moment to think of those things and let them fully come to light. And it's okay if anger comes up with this. Allow yourself to feel your anger. Maybe it's one thing that's causing you anger, maybe it's multiple. Just think of anything and everything that comes to mind of what is making you angry. Good. For the first part of this technique, I want you to stay with this anger, because chances are, as you thought of the things that make you angry, a little bit of anger is starting to surge up. That is okay. I want you to allow yourself to feel your anger and know why you're angry. Let it overcome you. Let it wash over you like a wave, just for a few moments. Feel that anger, feel that burning, feel that fire, feel that frustration. Feel it. Keep holding this as we go into our next part of our technique, where we're going to incorporate breath work. But I want to note that this breath work may be intense, and it should be, but also notice if you're overwhelming yourself or if you're feeling dizzy, then back off. Just play with that balance, listen to your body and what you need. But anyway, we're holding on to our anger. You're feeling it, you're noticing it, you're bringing it into awareness. You're allowing it to be there. And you feel how your body feels different now. Maybe you feel more tense. Holding on to this anger, I want you to place your palms together in prayer position and start rubbing them together. Building heat. Still sitting tall, eyes closed, rubbing your hands, remembering your anger, allowing it to be there. And take your hands and place one on top of the other over your belly button, so it's on your low stomach. We're going to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to exhale harshly out your mouth and hunch over, sucking in your stomach. Good. So inhale, sit tall, allow your belly to fill. And exhale, breathe out, curl in, suck in your stomach like you're pumping a balloon. Inhale, sit tall, exhale, breathe out, curl in. Good. And imagine as you do this that you're pumping your anger. You're filling up with anger, and as you exhale, you push it out your body as hard as you can. Good. Keep going with this at your own pace, whatever feels good, but try to challenge yourself. Good. Inhale. Keep going. Sit tall. Breathe in anger. Exhale. Breathe out anger. Suck in. Hunch over. Inhale. Sit tall. Fill up with anger. Exhale. Suck in your stomach. Curl over. Exhale anger. Inhale. Breathe in anger. Sit tall. Exhale. Breathe out anger. Curl in. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. On your last inhale, inhale in as deep as possible. Hold your breath. You're going to feel a little lightheaded. If you feel a little too lightheaded, you can release, but just try to hold it. Just feeling a little bit of a dizzy sensation. Feeling your anger. Filling up with anger. Allowing it to overcome you. Allowing yourself to acknowledge it as you hold your breath. And as you exhale, whenever you feel ready, maybe you hold your breath longer, relax and let it out your mouth very gently. Good. Opening your eyes maybe for a minute. Hopefully you didn't feel too dizzy. Notice now and imagine yourself just releasing all that anger. It is important for us to acknowledge and understand our anger, but it's also equally as important to let it go. To let it go after we acknowledge it. We have to recognize it and then release. And hopefully this first mindfulness technique helped you do that. But still, we are going to keep going and dive into it even more to fully release and decompress from our anger. body feels different. See if you feel less angry now. See if this mindfulness technique helped you release your anger so far. Good. If you haven't already, very gently blink your eyes open. Staying in this meditative posture. And I want you to take a moment to look around and notice what you can see. Notice 3 things. Maybe it's grass, the sky, a ceiling, mountains, cars. Just 3 things. And just notice them. Put your awareness on them. Good. Now I want you to notice 3 details within each of those 3 things that you can see. So maybe you're seeing grass. Notice the details of the light and the shadows in the texture. Or you see the cars. Notice 3 details within the cars. Maybe there's a dent. Notice the reflections. Notice the interior and the exterior. Just practice paying attention to details. Good. Keep a calm breath as you do this. Don't get caught up in thoughts or feel hurried. See if you can keep a calm state of awareness, a calmness that you cultivated from the first breathwork technique that we did. Good. Now I want you to notice 3 things you can hear. Maybe you hear wind, cars, a barking dog, a fly, a bird. Just notice 3 things. And really just notice them. Really pay attention to how they sound. Do they sound gentle, calm? Do they sound loud, quiet, sharp, painful? Noticing with a calm awareness. Good. Notice how your breath feels. Notice your lungs. Notice the rise and fall with every breath. And maybe your lungs feel very shallow, and that can be frustrating. It can make you feel anxious. Notice if it triggers that. Good. Notice now 3 things you can feel. Maybe it's the ground beneath your feet. Maybe it's your hair in your face. Maybe it's your clothes. Maybe it's grass, sand. Just notice 3 things that you can feel in this present moment as you sit here calmly. Good. Awesome. Notice as you're sitting here, if your anger is starting to rise again. Notice if it's trying to distract you because it feels as if it wasn't fully released. Again, mindfulness is about noticing, not judging, so do not judge yourself if it is there. You do not need any more self-hate or any resentment. Just notice. Good. Maybe it's there, maybe it isn't. Either way, just respect and honor it. Notice the beauty in your surroundings. Notice the silence. Great. Going ahead and closing off your eyes again if you desire, or keeping them open. I want you to think about what you're feeling beneath that anger. You know why you're angry now, and you know the things that caused your anger. You acknowledge them. But think about why those things make you angry. How do they make you feel? Because behind that facade of anger, there is a sensitive, gentle, vulnerable soul that feels hurt. Maybe the reason you're angry, or maybe the reason this thing caused you anger, is because it makes you feel alone. It makes you feel unheard. It makes you feel unloved. It makes you feel sad. It brings you pain. It could be anything. But it's the pain behind your anger. Just notice. And it will probably be painful to think of this. It feels like cutting open an old wound, and that is okay. Just take a few moments to allow yourself to feel it. Allow this pain to come out of hiding and be acknowledged. And repeat what you're feeling. Express it in your mind. I feel alone. I feel sad. I feel unheard. I feel like I'm not enough. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge the pain. And I want you to imagine that you have two versions of yourself within you. Your heart and soul. And I want you to allow your soul to comfort your heart, like a parent would a child. Step into your heart and say, hey, it's okay. Tell yourself what you need to hear. Maybe it's, you're enough. You're loved. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that people don't understand. It's going to be okay. It is okay to feel this way. Comfort yourself and nurture your own pain. This is a very powerful mindfulness technique, and it can be uncomfortable and sometimes even feel ridiculous. But this is how we manage and release our anger, release our pain, and live with more peace. Good. Place your hands over your heart and imagine you're sending yourself calmness, gentle energy into your heart and healing. Imagine yourself healing your heart and releasing your anger. Release it to the wind. Allow it to be released. Release that hot coal. And know that people are doing their very best. You know you are doing your very best. Everyone and everything does their best with what they can do, with what they have. And so send not only healing to yourself, but to other people. Send loving kindness and know that they do not mean to cause you anger. You do not mean to be angry at yourself. Everyone is just feeling hurt deep down. Breathing calmly. What is the expectation or the boundary that you need to set to release this anger fully? Is there something you can express, communicate, a boundary you can set, an expectation you can verbalize? And it can be scary to think about this because setting boundaries can be scary. Expressing ourselves can be scary. But it is so important to at least just acknowledge what the boundary is we need to set. Maybe you think of something like, I need you to not talk about something. Maybe the boundary or expectation you need to set is that no one bothers you the first thing in the morning. Maybe the boundary you need to set is that people listen to you more when you try to talk. Maybe the boundary you need to set is for yourself. Maybe the boundary you need to set is that you will not say harsh words to yourself. That you will speak with kindness to your conscience. That you will tell yourself you are enough. I am enough. Good. Just know that you know your boundary, your expectation. You do not have to don't feel pressure to have to verbalize this or communicate this because it can be scary and it can cause us anxiety to think about it. But just set your intention to live aligned with what you need, with what serves you, with what makes you feel good, and what helps you live with less anger. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Fill yourself up with love. Acknowledge any hatred or anger that is still there. And exhale, let it out your mouth. You are love, you are light, you are joy. You deserve love, light, and joy. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Hello again. I hope these mindfulness techniques helped you with managing or releasing your anger. I highly recommend that you do this anytime you feel your anger come on. And I want to give, before you go, a few other mindfulness techniques for you to do on your own to manage your anger. One of them is literally grounding into the earth. Get barefoot and walk in the grass, walk in the sand, walk in the ocean. Feel the ground beneath your feet. This is extremely soothing for when we feel anger and helps us reconnect and calm our nervous system. It'll help you with your anger and managing it a ton. Another thing I recommend is listening to music and journaling it, and journaling how each song makes you feel, because sometimes our anger is covering our emotions and we just don't know how to express them. So listening to music and journaling and verbalizing what we're feeling will help a ton. Another exercise I want to recommend is always just reconnecting with your surroundings, reconnecting to the moment, because sometimes our anger is resentment and we're living in the past. So just reconnecting to the present moment through seeing reality will help a ton. And finally, setting boundaries is so important. If you know the thing that's causing you anger is due to unset boundaries or unverbalized expectations or being hard on yourself, find a way to communicate that boundary and that expectation. And I know that this can be scary, but just finding ways to practice verbalizing it. So maybe you can't get yourself to verbalize and communicate with this person who's causing you anger. Maybe you can't get yourself to verbalize it and communicate with them yet, but I recommend you just write down what you would say. Practice writing down in the moment somewhere what you want to say. Practice nightly journaling to release your emotions and understand them and express them. I hope these mindfulness techniques will help you manage your anger, and I'm so glad you showed up with me today to help manage your anger, because starting is the first step, and I hope will help you a ton. Always come back to this video, do this mindfulness techniques on your own. I'm so glad, and I hope that truly, from the bottom of my heart, I hope that this helps you on your path to overcoming your anger and living with more love, light, joy, and peace. Thank you so much for showing up. Please leave a comment below if this exercise helped you. Please share it with your friends, because I know it'll help them too, and I'm so glad that you showed up. From my heart to yours, about you, namaste. And for the kids watching this, keep it mindful, kids.